to the EP Sports Zone. I'm Abby Hooven, sports editor of the Eastern Progress, and I'm here with my co-host, Zach Weston.
Hey, Abby, how we doing?
I'm doing great. We've got a big week coming up, and we've got an even better podcast coming today. We've got our special guest with us is baseball player Niko Leontarakis, and we're happy to have you.
How you guys doing?
Doing great.
So, Nico, we'll just get our questions going. We'll just ask, what are your thoughts on the season so far? How do you think it's going?
So far, we've been improving over the course of the last 10 games. I think we have a 9-game win streak at home. Started off the season a little cooler than we were anticipating, but just double down on what our coach has been telling us, just continuing to treat people right, work hard, and just do the next best thing. And we've been playing a lot better as of late.
Like you said, you've won 9 straight home games, but you've also won 5 straight weekend series. What's been key to your all success lately?
Just staying consistent at the plate, just swinging at pitches we can drive, pitchers just throwing strikes in big situations. And honestly, our defense has been extremely pristine, making big double plays, making big catches in the outfield. We couldn't have asked for a better situation, maybe a couple sweeps here and there, but other than that, we went out there and we've just been on the attack.
Yeah, so speaking to that consistency, you came into the weekend tied for first in the ASUN in wins and third in ERA. How have you stayed consistent this season on the mound?
Just continuing working with our trainer, Katie. She's fantastic, along with our strength coaches, John, Mike, and Josh. They have been putting us in a position to succeed, both on and off the field. And honestly, I don't really let my head get too big, and I don't focus too much on baseball as I'm getting my master's this year. So academics is a huge burden on me, so when I go out there, I'm kind of just relentless and fearless and just trying to throw as many strikes as possible.
And you've also got a strong coaching staff behind you. It's only Coach's second season. It's still a fairly new roster compared to last year, but how has he been able to rally this group together and be successful thus far?
We have I think 30 transfers coming in. We had 30 transfers this year, and we had about 10 returners, so I guess I wouldn't say it was a challenge for him in the beginning, but we created our own culture here, and we have an extremely gritty and talented group on our team this year, and he just kind of let us do our own thing. He kind of just let us blossom on the field and let us play the game we know how to play without taking it overboard.
Yeah, so we've had 30 transfers, of which you are one. You transferred here from Post. How has the transition to D1 been for you?
I've been trying to get into the Division I level since I transferred out of it my freshman year. And this time last year, I was taking 6 classes online, and I was coaching a group of 9-year-olds. So there's definitely things come full circle, just continuing to work hard and just not letting any situation feel or seem bigger than it actually is. It's just the same game I've been playing, just different colors in a different school in a different state.
Now you've got a big week coming up. You travel to UK, then you go down to Jacksonville State. How are you guys going to be preparing for those games this week?
We just got to prepare the same way we've always been preparing, go out on the field, just continue to hit it hard, not think too much when we're out there, both on practice and when we're on the field. And it's just the same game we've been playing. The opponent is just wearing a different color jersey than we are. We don't really make out any opponent to be bigger than what they actually are because they put on their pants right foot in, left foot in, just like we do.
Yeah, so it's not all serious. We're gonna get you some fun questions here, just so our listeners can kind of get to know you a little better.
Awesome.
So how did you get into baseball?
I got in as a very, very unathletic, clumsy 11-year-old. I was trying a bunch of different sports, and I was playing tennis. I remember playing youth tennis, and I just couldn't help but hit the ball over the fence, not the net. And they were like, this kid's trying to hit home runs. He should play baseball. And I got on the diamond and was extremely bad there too. But I had 2 loving parents and supportive parents who never gave up on me. And they just wanted to see me happy, continue to put me in the right direction to ultimately get to where I'm at right now at 23.
So how'd you get to pitcher from that? I mean, you're hitting tennis balls over the fence. What?
I was playing outfield, and I was just letting balls eat, just trying to throw guys out, and balls were going all over the place. And I had a coach at the time. Honestly, to tell you his name right now, I would be lying to you if I told you I remembered it. But he ultimately just had me get on the mound and just start throwing fastballs. And then, honestly, I think I took pitching seriously when I got to my freshman year of high school at 14.
Now, we saw that you were actually drafted back in 2017 in the 40th round to Baltimore. Could you just talk a little bit about that?
I was a young freshman in junior college, and I was taken, again, like you said, in the 40th round. And when I communicated with that team, at the time, most people who knew me then and know me now, and I'll tell you, to be completely honest with you, I wasn't ready to get into pro ball at that time. It was due to the grace of God that I even got a phone call to even get drafted. But, what they told me when they called me was, we know you're young and we know you're not ready now, but in a few years, you'll blossom and you'll like where you're at then. And, years passed and they ended up being right. But also academically, it was important for me to graduate my bachelor's and get my master's in exercise sports science this year.
So some people might not know this, but you play for the Greek national team for baseball.
Correct.
What's it like to represent your country playing the sport that you love?
It truly is a great thing because I have a pretty good relationship with my Greek side of the family. It's just been something, it's kind of been a headache. It's been in the works since I was a freshman, and getting different Greek citizenship documents legalized and just getting paperwork sent over and creating an international passport was a little bit of a challenge. But I think it was 2.5 years later, it was like October of 2019 is when I ultimately got put on the roster. And I was going to play this past summer in Lithuania, but I had 3 finals to graduate with my bachelor's, and I kind of had to sacrifice going and playing with them this summer so I could graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, kind of a different question. What's your best pitch and why?
I would just say my changeup because it just plays off of my slider and both my fastballs really well, and I can throw that early in the count, I can throw it late in the count, and either get a swing or miss or a weak contact on it.
Yeah, so we're just fine having you at pitcher, but no, with your answer, don't change. You're doing
Yeah.
great. You're doing great where you're at. But if Coach said, "All right, it's time for you to play a new position," what position would you choose?
Oh, center field, and they're gonna laugh when they hear this because I shag BP horribly, but it's swaggy position to be in, and I never hit a ball over a fence in my life. But if you gave me an opportunity, I would try to do it.
Well, I think that's everything I had. Zach, you have anything to add?
No, man. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely,
Thank
thank you
you.
both for having me.
We're back with more about baseball here. We just listened to Nico, but we've got a few games to recap. So first off, we played NKU at home on Tuesday. We won 6-2, and we took an early 2-0 lead. NKU scored one in the second inning, but we countered, and they never really got back in front at all.
Yeah, so we took an early 2-0 lead in the first inning. Will King singled to center field to bring in Max Williams to the first run, and then Logan Thomason scored on a ground out from Charlie Ludwig. Like you said, NKU scored one, but as soon as they scored, we came back up, and Max Williams hit an RBI to extend the lead. We added to the scoreboard again in the 4th and 5th innings before putting the game away for good in the 7th. Will King was a perfect 3-for-3 with an RBI. Charlie Ludwig drove in 3 runs and finished 1 for 3. Isaac Milburn got the start on the mound. In 5 innings, he gave up a run and 5 hits, but he struck out 5 batters. It was a strong win. Our closers came in and took care of business. Will King and Charlie Ludwig have been getting going recently on the offensive attack. They've been key to the team's early success. And
they carried that success into this weekend. We had a home series against Bellarmine, and we kicked it off Friday with a win, 5-3. The story was definitely Michael Schuler. He had a season-high 8 strikeouts, held Bellarmine to 3 runs on 8 2/3 innings, and retired 10 straight hitters between the 4th and 7th inning.
Michael was having a great day, but whenever pitching's going well, you gotta let Will Bryan eat. So he came in 9th inning. He threw 1 pitch. Was a line out to left field to get the save and the win for the Colonels. Yeah, that's right. He can come in and throw 1 pitch. That was his, and he got a save for it. So he came in, and that was his stat of the night. But it wasn't only him that had a big night. Kendall Ewell went 4 for 4 with a double and 2 RBIs. That's a theme this series. Kendall Ewell kind of asserting himself as like our centerpiece hitter. So he had a great weekend, and that started on Friday. So on Saturday, we won 2-0. Just like on Friday, pitching was the main story. Starter Reese Brown struck out 10 hitters and allowed just 2 hits across 7 scoreless innings. He was relieved by Will Bryan, who preserved the shutout and notched his NCAA leading 10th save of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough day for both teams at bat, but when we needed to, we came through. And, to score the go-ahead run, Sebastian Greco had a double through the gap, put Rod Chris on third, and then he scored right after on a wild pitch. So it might not have been our best night at bat, but we still made those plays when we needed to.
Yeah, that's just through this run we're on, we've won 9 straight home games, 5 straight weekend series. We're just doing what we need to do to win, and I think that really shows itself in our game on Sunday. So, we won the first game 5-3, won the second game 2-0, won the second game 17-13. So both teams weren't happy with how they hit the ball on Saturday and decided to get it all out there on Sunday. Pitching, as you can see by the score, was not the story. For us, Kendall Ewell had a monster game. He's currently batting .583 in ASUN games, and he led us to victory. He went 4 for 5 with a home run, 2 doubles, and 5 RBIs. He was on fire, but it wasn't just him.
Yeah, Logan Thomason added to the series, going 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Will King went 3 for 5, an RBI himself. And what's nice about this game is, yes, you look at the score and you're like, wow, we were on fire, but we really didn't kick that until the 7th inning. We had the lead 5-1. They storm back, take it 6-5, end up going 10-5 on a grand slam, and you're looking at that thinking, how are we going to come back from that? We responded with 8 runs in the bottom of the 7th. I mean, it was just like one RBI after another, and then, they got ahead in the 8th. We tied it up, and then we take it over, and we came in the 9th and pitched it out.
Yeah, that's a really important series win, and to close it out with a sweep, that's really big, leading us in to our next group of games coming in, big confidence booster. On Tuesday, March 29th, we've got UK at UK at 6:30. Now we can definitely get some hits off of them. Their bullpen is like really bad, like worst in the SEC bad, but they can hit with anybody in the country. So it'll be really important for Will Bryan and Nico and all of any pitcher that gets the ball to really lock in, because if your pitching doesn't come like at an elite level, they will mash. So, that's really important. But after that, we've got a Friday-Sunday series with Jacksonville State, who is 6-0 in the ASUN. They're first in the East, and we're second. So it's going to be that's a big series to kind of see early who the cream of the ASUN is.
And it's not like their record overall is more outstanding than ours. They're 11-11. We're 17-8. So I think it'll be a pretty even matchup. It's just going to be a matter of who's going to take the lead early. I think is going to be key for us.
Yeah, I think, as I said when we did our baseball preview, the secret to success for Eastern Kentucky is have a lead in the 8th inning. That's it. And then, Will Bryan will take care of it. So as long as we can get the games going well up to that point, Will Bryan will get us home. But that'll be a competitive series to really kind of test where we're at in the ASUN.
I kind of want to start something different, Zach. All right, if we've gone through this week, who would you say is our baseball player of the week?
So I think pretty clearly, I think you got to go with Kendall Ewell.
Absolutely.
He had a 4-for-4 game and then a 4-for-5 game, and he's batting .583 in ASUN games. So we thought he'd come in and be a huge player this year after having a great year last year. But he's really just adding to it. So I think, without much discussion, I think it's Kendall.
All right. Moving on to softball. We had a Saturday-Sunday series at Jacksonville University. In the first game Saturday, we lost 3-0. We only had 1 hit the entire game from Maggie Purdy, and neither team could really get much going. They weren't really getting the looks that they wanted. And, Jacksonville had 3 runs on 8 hits, but it could have been a larger lead. It could have been worse off than it was, but we were at least able to hold them for most of the game.
Yeah, that's a slog game to kind of work, but in game 2 Saturday, the bats woke up. We won 8-0. We shook off a slow start from game 1 and came out firing. Jasmine Miller hit 2 homers, a solo homer in the 4th, and a 3-run homer in the 5th. With that 3-run homer, we also scored 3 more runs in the 5th. Laura Narvaez got the win on the mound. She only gave up 4 hits. Jasmine Miller had 4 RBIs, 2 runs, and 2 hits. It was a monster game for her, and 7 Colonels scored.
It was a good confidence booster win too, coming into the A-Sun, losing those first couple games, but being able to take one from Jacksonville, who's second in the East of the A-Sun, so picking up a win against them, we're at the bottom of the division, but it was a nice performance to kind of see that we can play with these teams whenever we get our momentum going, and when our bats are clicking, it's going to be hard for people to stop us.
Yeah, most definitely. Sunday, close game, we lost 3-2. We got up 2-0 in the first inning. Lou Bowers singled to left center to score Sammy Miller and Maggie Purdy. Jacksonville cut it to 2-1 in the second, and then all was quiet till the sixth inning. Dolphins hit a 2-run shot to go up 3-2, and that gave them the win. End of the game, we had the tying run on third. Just couldn't get home. Our big performer was Sammy Miller, who went 2 for 3 with 1 walk and 1 stolen base. We kept it close, but just couldn't find that last push to tie it up at the end.
Overall, it wasn't a bad weekend. You might look and think, oh, we only picked up one of those games. But the game we did pick up, that's how we know we can play. When we play that way, we're going to get these wins. And it's just showing that we can compete against these top teams. We're not getting blown out 15-0 or 12-0. We're making these stops. It's just being able to, get ahead early and then keep that lead.
Yeah, I think for us, the question is just, can we get our pitching and our hitting to go at the same time? So if we can just find some consistency with either, having like our softball team, and I know every team would need this, but needs a girl like the equivalent to Kendall Ewell, who's going to show up and always just do what he's going to do. So if our girls team could find that, I think that would really help. But certainly all is not lost. Getting a win against Jacksonville is big, and that's some huge confidence going into our next games against Stetson. So Saturday and Sunday, April 2nd and 3rd, we're at home against them. They're third in the East Division at 4-2. They're 14-20 overall. So we have a Saturday doubleheader at 1 and 3:30, and then Sunday at 1 p.m. But looking at the week as a whole, Abby, who, in your opinion, is our softball player of the week?
I got to give it to Jasmine Miller. She had 2 homers in the same game. She really got the offense going there, and she's been doing well this whole season, stepping up when we need her to step up, and especially in this game, 4 RBIs. If she's not getting a homer, she's getting other people in. So she's still impacting it, whether she's getting it or not.
She's certainly riding the hot streak. Congratulations, Jasmine. Your cheap medal will be in the mail if we have the funding. Moving on to beach volleyball, we added 2 road matches on Friday, March 25th. First game was against Truett McConnell. We won 5-0. 5-0. We told you we're winning the national championship, and, we're well on the path to that. We didn't drop a set. Peyton Walker and Sarah Mitchell cruised in both of their sets, the number 2 pairing. They won 21-6 and 21-5. The pairing has a team-high 7 wins on the season.
And then the number 1 pairing, Shannon Stone, Hannah Keating, they held them off 21-15 before they rolled in the second 21-6. So a big win for the team. Didn't drop a set. I mean, we're rolling right now, and it continued into the second game where we played Spartanburg Methodist College, where we once again won 5-0. They didn't have individual scores available, but we now have the most wins in a single season in program history.
We're in like week 4. I mean, we got a lot of season left. We
still got 2-3 tournaments left.
Oh my goodness!
But in the preseason, I talked to Coach Pat, and he told us he wants to put EKU beach volleyball on the map. And with these wins, we're certainly making our way there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know you don't think it, but Eastern Kentucky is going to become like a mecca of beach volleyball. That's how great Coach Patton's been, and that's the program we're building. As far as like a player of the week goes, I kind of want to give it to pairing 2, but I kind of want to say that beach volleyball is like the program of the week.
Yeah.
Like pairing 2's the players of the week, and then beach volleyball is like, 5-0, 5-0, 10-0. I think wow, I don't think there's enough praise we can heap on beach volleyball.
It's hard to pick just a single player, a single pairing, because it truly is the whole team coming together. I mean, you can't win unless you got a couple pairings really hitting. So I mean, it was a great weekend, and we've got a big weekend coming up. We've got a home tournament on Friday and Saturday, April 1st and 2nd. We start off Friday at 1 against Austin P, and that'll be a tough matchup, but a good one to see how we're going to continue this momentum going forward. And then we play Friday at 7 versus Eastern Illinois, and then we rest until Saturday at 1 versus Jacksonville State, and then we finish off Saturday at 5 versus North Alabama.
Yeah, we're definitely punching a little bit above where we're at with these matches. They're not going to be easy. Our 1 and 2 pairings should be competitive. It'll be interesting to see how our bottom 3 pairings, after coming off huge confidence boosters against Spartanburg, Methodist, and McConnell, how they can do. Let's see how they compete with the other teams' lower pairings. So we're looking to get some wins that people weren't expecting from us early on. I think it'll be a good confidence building week because I see us winning a few.
And we're on our turf. It's our facilities. We're very familiar with it. You'll be in your homes. You don't have to travel, stay in hotels, worry about getting on a bus going 5 hours down the road. So it'll be nice to stay at home for a weekend, and we'll hopefully continue this win streak and get that natty like you keep mentioning.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you what, that's what we call that's like a year-long prediction. That'll come to fruition in a few years, and when it happens, just know that I was on that corner first. Moving into track, in what is news that made me smile, the curse is broken. I made a prediction, and it worked. It happened. So
shout out to Jake.
Shout out to Jake, our track correspondent, who hit me up with that prediction. So Thursday to Saturday, March 24th to 26th, we were at the Raleigh Relays in Raleigh, North Carolina. The big story was Laura Taborda, who I predicted would do well. Not to spoil anything later, but she finished 7th out of 38 steeplechase competitors at the relays on Friday night. Her time of 10:12:53 bested her own school record by nearly 10 seconds. It's number 1 in the ASUN by a substantial margin. She could backpedal and win the steeplechase if all the ASUN people got together and ran it. And then she's number 6 total in the NCAA East region. So with the time she's got now, she is competing at a regional, and that's really hard to do in Division I track and field. So big meet for her.
And not only did she break her record by nearly 10 seconds, but we had the distance men for EKU. They had their own personal bests. Jackson Siddall ran his first ever 5K on the track. He ran 14:12:71, which is second in the ASUN. And his teammate, Charles Kipchumba, was not that far behind with 14:18:47, followed by Nikodem Dworzak at 14:21. So we've got 3 guys in the top 5 in the ASUN for the 5K.
Yeah, our distance men's team, if you look at our men's team as a whole, that's the strength of it. They are, and Ahmed didn't even go this weekend. He went to the World Championships last week. He's catching his breath, so we didn't even get the first places he would have had. We are, as far as distance goes, we are the dominant team in the ASUN. We will show up and sweep it all. And I think that speaks to, Nico. Nico is 5 in the ASUN, and he's our 4th best 5K runner. So we have 4 of the best 5 ASUN 5Kers. So that's really impressive. On Friday morning, Bailey Ayers kept the PB train rolling. She ran a 17:19:08 in the women's 5K, number 4 in the ASUN. And then Anik Van Gils followed that up with a personal best time in the women's 1500, winning her heat with a time of 4:35:15. To close out the meet and rally, Grace Kilroy had a PB in the women's 5,000 meters. She clocked a time of 17:01:06 and her first ever 5K on the track, and that's number 3 in the ASUN.
So we talk about the men's distance being strong in the ASUN, but the women, they're holding their own as well. There's no drop off.
Yeah, they are right up there, and our women's team, just in general, is right up there in the ASUN, as we'll find out at the Weems Basket Invitational. What happened there?
We kept it going. We had Quintasia Perry. She killed it in indoor season. She's transferring it to outdoor. She ran a new personal best in the 100 meters with a time of 11:61. Followed that up running 23:82 in the 200 meters. And both of those times are second in the ASUN currently. And then Katie Chapman had a personal best herself. She finished second overall in the women's 1,500 meters. She ran a time of 4:36:36. So we've got some strong competitors, not just in distance, but we've got Quantasia Perry in the short distance as well.
And you know, we didn't run any relays, but those are good too. And like our women's team is really like they're kicking into gear. They're gonna make some noise at the ASUN tournament. But you know, one other person that was really successful, there was an Ahmed that was really good. Just a different. I didn't know going into the season because Ahmed Kadri's new, but you know, we just have like a monopoly on all of the athletic Ahmeds in the world, you know. So same success, different Ahmed. Ahmed Kadri ran a 9:02.75 in his first collegiate steeplechase debut. So in his first ever collegiate steeplechase, he set the fastest time in the ASUN, you know. So he's elite. Ahmed Jaziri's elite. So, you know, I just, you know, really impressive from him as well.
They're off for the next week or so. They don't race again until the Duke Invitational on April 7th and 9th. But, you know, who's our track athlete of the week?
So I think this is tough. No, it's not. Just kidding. It has to be Laura Taborda. You know, crushed her own record, best in the ASUN, number 6 in the NCAA East Regionals. Gave me a correct prediction. She checked off all of the boxes to be our track athlete of the week. Would you have anyone else, or is that?
I would agree. I mean, we had a lot of strong performances, obviously, but breaking school record by 10 seconds, ranked top 10 in the East Regional, you know, number 1 in the ASUN. I mean, you just can't beat that.
No. So moving on, we've got men's golf. So if you remember, Abby had a prediction that she made, and you know, predictions are supposed to be done by this week, but you know, the tournament's still going on. So we can update you on how it's going, but we won't know how it ends until next week. So tell us, Abby, what's happening?
Well, I want to first off say I got messed up with my dates. I was convinced that this was going to be done. Spring break messed me up, but no excuses. So far, our golf team is 10th place in the tournament.
That's not top 3.
No.
It's not top 3.
We have time. But,
we do. This is true.
The outlook might not be the best. South Alabama, who's, you know, hosting the tournament, is in the lead, shooting 11 under. We're shooting 9 over. So we've got some work to do, but it might take a miracle, but we can get there. I have faith.
So here's the plus side to that. So second place is Oral Roberts. They're only 2 under. So, you know, we're closer to second.
See, we only need top 3.
Exactly.
So we just need a little bit. Yeah. We don't need to get all the way to South Alabama.
Yeah, let's play some par golf on day 3. You know, that'll pull us back in. Let's let the other teams, you know, as it gets more competitive, they'll get tight. We won't. So your prediction still might come through, but yeah, that's our men's golf update. So the women had the week off. So up next, starting today and then tomorrow at the Georgia State Spring Invitational in Johns Creek, Georgia, the Rivermont Country Club. That's what's happening for them. So we'll be sure to update you on what happens then next podcast.
It's time for our predictions. So
you know,
predictions correspondent Derek is here to give us an update, and you know, Zach's feeling confident. He's got it.
Great.
So we'll kick it off with Abby. Last week, she said that the baseball team would sweep Bellarmine, and she was correct, moving her from 5-7 to 6-7.
Doing great.
You know, men's golf, obviously, you all talked about it, is not complete yet, so we'll wait till see next week what happens there. Steepler, Laura Taborda finished top 12 for Zach, so that's he moves from 1-11 to 2-11, and then also Jackson Siddall, 3,000 PR, was correct again, so he's now 3-11.
Oh my goodness! Like beach volleyball,
you're on a roll.
We're on the come up. It's happening. So you know, Abby, are you sweating a little bit yet, or?
I'm at 6-7. I'm not worried.
Oh wow, okay.
I'm feeling good.
That's fine, and of course, as we'll update, we'll get you know, our boss man Ryan, he'll come on and give another pick. We got to get him off 0-1. So
we got to get him at least a 1-1.
At least one. So be thinking about that for next week, Ryan. But this week, Abby, as I'm mounting the comeback, and as I will, as all of the Zach fans at home are smiling ear to ear, what predictions do you have this week to stem the tide a little bit?
Well, I've got 3. One, of course, is from last week that men's golf will place in the top 3. Not looking good, but I'm not losing all hope. Can't be too safe. But my other one, beach volleyball, is going to earn 2 wins this weekend. Jacksonville State's kind of in the bottom of the pack in the A-Sun. I think we'll compete.
Don't give them bulletin board material. Look what you did. Now they're going to hear this because, Jacksonville State, we have a good contingent of Jacksonville State fans that listen to the pod. So now you've done in. Come on, Abby.
If they sweep us, then I will personally apologize to the team.
Good.
Just like you did with golf.
Okay.
And then my other one, Charlie Ludwig's going to hit a homer against Jacksonville State. He's been hot lately. I'm feeling good about that one.
Yeah, so for me, I know I apologized and promised to never do anything
back on your word
for women's golf, but I mean, hey, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Second or third time's the charm. So women's golf's getting top 4. Ragenhilder's going to have an amazing tournament, and it's going to lead to some success for me. Then I'll also go. Will Bryan will pick up 2 saves over the 2 saves, not 1, 2. So he's got to get the ball twice and then
at least one pitch.
At least, and these have to be like. I'm dubious of counting a 1-pitch save, so hopefully he gets to pitch more than once. But yeah, those are my predictions as I hope to move to 5-11 and really close, make his thing close.
All right. Well, check out easternprogress.com for daily content updates, and as always, follow Sports EP on Twitter for up-to-date news and live tweets during our upcoming games.
Remember, Abby Hooven is the Twitter. So
I am the Twitter.
Yeah, so make sure you give her a follow.
We're close to 600 followers, so
hey,
we need 2 more. So we're making that final push to get there. We'll make 650 our next goal.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.